Hi, this is Sun Mushi, hoping to brighten your night. And this is a Aries reading that was actually requested by someone. And so, while this message is sort of personal towards that person, this is also, I really am going to take this as an Aries reading. So if you're an Aries, this may resonate with you. And even if you're not an Aries, this message still might resonate with you. I'm just going with Aries to go with a specific energy to kind of help for that person. So if you're watching this at some point, I'll leave your name anonymous because I don't know how you feel about that. Then hopefully this message resonates with you, because this video is pretty much for you. But this is for anyone who this might resonate with. So I might call it like Aries reading / general. I don't know. Or I might just call it an Aries reading. Yeah. And these ones are flipped up because, so I made the intention on pre-shuffling these. I was going to shuffle them all before hitting record. But these cards fell out and I pick up the vibe of what it's kind of saying. But I'm just going to wait on that, and I'll flip this one anyways. Okay. And I went with 5 decks because A-R-I-E-S. How do you spell Aries? Is that right? Yeah. Okay, cool. A-R-I-E-S. Yeah. And, yeah. So, ooh. These 3 wanted to come out. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this one-piece Uno deck. Ooh, the Tower. So, whenever I do one-piece Uno, it's kind of like the you reading, if that makes sense. It's the, it's like this personality or like timeline stuff. So like this may like be stuff that like builds up to where you are now. Yeah, since it's pretty specific for you who requested this reading, I'm going to use all the letters in your name. I won't say the name, but I'll just use it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, interesting. And then this one's calling out 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to look at the camera. Can you see all those? Not really, but that's okay. Ooh. Okay, so for those of you this may resonate with, man, what should I call you? Other than anonymous. I'm going to refer to you as Hourglass, if that's okay with you. So, Hourglass, this is kind of going to be like the first sort of message. So basically, if this resonates with you strongly, almost like to the T, I would say that the rest of this reading may also resonate with you, and you can take those messages and hopefully feel like, what's the word? Assured that this message was meant for you. And you know, that's all up to you, of course. But anyways, the beginning of this reading, I get the Tower card, and I get this with 4 of Cups. So I feel like it's almost kind of like emotionally, things are always kind of like not necessarily like good or bad or like super intense or like not intense at all. It's more like just kind of like like emotions kind of like, I like boredom would be like a good way to put it. Anyways, it's kind of like with the Tower, it's sort of like maybe things sort of fall apart or like circumstances come up where things get broken down or something for apparently no good reason. Like for like it was like you didn't do much, so where did this Tower moment come from is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if that resonates with you. I also see with Justice in the 5 of Pentacles that it's like emotionally, I feel like you're waiting for emotional fulfillment and physical fulfillment, where it's kind of like perhaps someone maybe broke your heart or hurt you emotionally, or maybe like left you in the physical world. So like you used to be in someone's world, but like now they're not, because Five of Pentacles is the like feeling left out in the cold. It's also someone who I feel like you experienced a lot together, and you feel like you went on like a very intense journey with them. But with this type of journey, it was kind of like the whole way the waters were maybe always like smooth feeling. It was like everything in the relationship perhaps was smooth, yet there were always tower moments. There were always like maybe fights or conflicts, or just things kind of like breaking apart, for like feeling like it came out of almost nowhere. And so with Justice, I feel like you're waiting for justice to be served. Like you're waiting for emotional fulfillment, and you're waiting for like someone to not to like be in this with you, and to not leave you alone with that situation when the situation comes up. It's like you want to experience life with someone together, like the lonely moments with someone together. I have stuff to say about that, but I'm just going to read the cards. Well, I will say, like, from that sort of outlook, I do want to say, like, in terms of going, like, feeling out in the cold, you can, yeah, no, I'll just keep going with the reading. I'll keep reading the stuff I pick up on. Page of Wands and Two of Swords. So, I feel like with this energy, with Justice, you pretty much got just that. You got someone where you got emotional fulfillment, and you got a physical fulfillment, where you went with things together, and this person maybe came at you with some passion, or like, I shouldn't have said came at you, sorry, I just mean like went towards you with passionate energy, almost kind of like they bring you with like an invitation, and the invitation is the Two of Swords, where you're like, you have to say yes or no. They're like, hey, like, you're looking for like someone like with like emotional deepness and like 3D world deepness, who they're not necessarily like super well off and fancy and rich or anything, but rather it's like, they've experienced hard times too, but like they know how to work through it. Perhaps they're like, looking for someone who has emotion, who's working on themselves. You're looking for someone like basically, yeah, working on themselves in the physical world and the emotional world. Like, that's me, with Page of Wands, and that was kind of like their offer to you, and perhaps you were like, okay, yeah, sure, like Two of Swords energy. Like, you ended up having, like, you really, maybe it was very challenging to come up with a decision, but you eventually aligned your heart and your mind, and you went with, yes, like, let's form this partnership where I bring something to the table, I like you, Hourglass, and you bring something to the table, person who like gave you this like basically love offer, and we'll make it work. And Knight of Cups, it's like, yeah, they presented themselves with their heart open, and was like, yeah, this is how I feel. And I feel like you presented yourself, or maybe they did, but I feel like you presented yourself as the Queen of Cups, this like energy where you're like totally ready to give your heart as well, like reciprocate. Like, you like sit there and you're like, not sit, but like they like come to you as a Knight of Cups, and then you as a Queen of Cups. You're like, okay, you're like, I see these emotions, I accept. You did it both with your heart, your very like mature heart, but also with your very mature mind, with the Queen of Swords. And so, like, again, I'm just hearing logically this should have worked, emotionally, in the physical world, like how, like with your intuition, this all made sense, and yet from the very beginning, maybe through and through the whole thing, there was tower moments, like maybe left and right, like a lot. That's what I'm getting from this card, and at the very end, this leaves you with Five of Cups, a loss, a regret, that sort of situation, perhaps like a breakup or a divorce. for your situation, hourglass. And then for those of you who may be resonating with these messages, then, you know, take them how it is. Yeah, with Three Pentacles, I really do hear about like that partnership, that it was really something good, or that like it was supposed to build into something amazing, and emotionally and mentally I think it did, but I feel like, I guess in the end, it just didn't work, and I feel like that has a lot to do with the 3D world for some reason, a lot to do with maybe finances even, just because finances didn't really pop up that often in this whole reading. Let me see if I'm on track with that at all. This might give me an idea. Six of Cups. There was some sort of like emotions wise, cups wise. I feel like there was a lot of balance and harmony between you and this person. So whatever the issue was, let's see. Spirit, can you give me a vibe on what the issue was about? Let's see. This one. Oh, something needed to change. This is the Death card, by the way. Something really needed to change. What needed to change? Okay, we did get a Nine of Pentacles and a Judgment. I feel like maybe this guy or this person, or maybe you guys weren't the best with the finances, and that's what needed to change. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm getting, but it was like perhaps you guys were like spending, or maybe he noticed your spending habits, or maybe you noticed his. I've never made it so specific, but for some reason I'm picking that up. I feel like with a good judgment call on that has a lot to do with the Tower moment. I feel like this had a lot to do with the real world. Like, I feel like, yeah, like maybe your actions that you took, both with like the 3D world, like maybe you like with your belongings, or his belongings, or your money or his money, or like aside from that, like just your actions versus or his actions. I feel like these are the things that were more so the problem. I feel like mentally and emotionally you guys are on a very similar page, but physically and energetically you guys were on different vibes, so to speak. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. So yeah, if that all resonated with you, hopefully the rest of this reading also does. I'm going to take it that the way I set the intention was that if that called out to you, Hourglass, that the rest of this reading really is for you. So I'm going to take the last card of each one for like an ultimate message. So there's that one. And then I already shuffled these ones. Hope. So you've got hope. Sorry, there we go. Vision, love, strength, and a conclusion. Wow. So I feel like you've had a lot of hope for the future, vision about what is in store for you. I feel like you've been really like working on yourself and doing a lot in the world since leaving this person. A lot of, I hear self-love, because strength is about strength within, and love can be like about love towards others, but I really hear this is a big self-love card, which I really like that a lot. So you've done a lot of healing, I'm hearing, and you have a lot of inner strength in terms of like making sure that the actions you put out into this world are a healing energy. You never, I don't think, have intentions to hurt anyone. So that's a really beautiful thing. I feel like you learned a lot from the end of this relationship, and you learned a lot about the loss. And so by learning a lot and understanding and making a lot of hope for the future, we reach a conclusion with this, where it's kind of like an acceptance that this past relationship is really over. That's what I'm hearing with conclusion. So there was a big regret, and I think ultimately at the end there was a conclusion, an understanding that it really just wasn't going to work out, and moving on from that energy. And then let's see, move. I like that. So now it's like you're ready for your it's like your heart, you took it back from this person, or yeah, more honestly, I'm hearing you just maybe are moving literally. I don't know why. It's like spreading the love. It's like you're spreading your love everywhere you go, perhaps. That's kind of what I'm getting as well. Act, direct, master, discipline, focus, effort. It's the word effort that calls out to me. It's like you're taking a lot of initiative in situations. Perhaps you're really pursuing love. Maybe you're like chasing after it, perhaps. And by the way, when these cards came out, I did see Six of Swords come out. It either meant to come out up reversed or right side up. So if it came out this way, it means there's something you need to move on currently from, that you've been unable to move on from. But I'm not sure about that. Let's see. Six of Swords, can you clarify? Six of Cups, something about balance. So that's gonna come up later. A-R-I-E-A-R-I-S. Ooh. Yeah, so yeah, I am picking that up again. There's something you need to move on from. Because we have Five of Swords, and Five of Swords is kind of like a self-sabotaging energy where you're doing things with your thoughts, and by doing those, you create a loss, a negative outcome. You create your own fears. You manifest your darkest fears by trying to do the opposite. It's strange. It's a very self-sabotaging energy. And then it makes you feel stuck. And you're like, well, what am I supposed to do then, perhaps, if this is resonating? And so it's a very tricky energy. And so what I hear is okay, like, or something you may have done, or something that you do, is reach out. You're like, okay, I'm asking for help, like, universe, send guidance, please, you know, like, I'd really appreciate it, cool, thanks, you know. And so I see this as a very positive card, a very positive reach out. I think this is the Three of Wands, or the Three of Pentacles. If it's the Three of Pentacles, I strongly feel that, but let me see. Red border. Yeah, it is. Teamwork, preparation, alchemy. That's the one that calls out to me, alchemy. You're a strong and capable person, yet sometimes, you know, it's okay to ask for help, or you forget to ask for help. But I feel like you really reached out, and it's perhaps you're like, how can I get through this? How do I? It's kind of like you're sort of like, every time you make a choice, it results in either some sort of loss or some sort of deep fear, I feel like. And you're kind of like, okay, I'm reaching out. How do I not do that next time with my, like, offer of love? For one, I'm hearing you're very connected with the universe, and you're really tuning in. So whatever signs you're getting, I am hearing, this is a big yes, that the signs you're hearing, to take them the way you are. Like, take the messages in the universe, how they resonate with you. Speak your truth. Speak your third eye truth. Like, let it out there, like, with open honesty. I hear that you verbalize honest thoughts and honest emotions, and honest intentions, pretty much all that stuff. It's like what you're doing is honest, so it should be working, perhaps. Maybe the fear is, well, I'm being honest, you know, I'm being, you know, moving your heart, you understand that you're being honest, and yet you come up with a loss. And it's kind of like you start realizing that you're inside of you, like, maybe you doubt your honesty because you're like, well, I'm made up of parts. What if my honesty is like, I'm just saying, you know, I'm open to the idea of anything, but really I'm trying to get a specific thing. Or maybe you're saying, oh, you know, it's okay however you feel, but perhaps there's a part of you that is saying, no, it's not. You want them to feel a certain way about you. You know, like, maybe you're worrying that you're not honest and that you're selfish, or that you are, like, that you're tricking your own mind. And I'm hearing that is an illusion, that is a dark, like, fear of yours, perhaps, and that you are a very honest person, and that, yes, you are made up of parts, and perhaps you need to balance those parts and hear where your thoughts are coming from. This is something I strongly resonate. So for me, I got into my thoughts, and I started realizing I had multiple voices. They were all my voice, but I realized I had like different people inside of me. I wasn't just one brain. It's like multiple parts inside of me. And I would like say like, okay, higher self son, say here. And I would hear like here, 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 here. Sometimes I hear a bunch of voices and I'm like, okay, there's way too many thoughts, too many voices. I need to calm and quiet them down. And sometimes you have so many that you don't hear any, and it's like all of them are collectively working as one voice, and so you don't realize perhaps that you've got so many inside of you. So like finding a way to quiet your thoughts so much that you start to hear just a couple characters basically might be very beneficial to finding what's within you if you're having a difficulty with that. And then I'm hearing deep reflection. It's kind of like you're seeing someone that's not just you. If you believe in twin flames, I believe every person has a twin flame, but that's just my belief. And that doesn't mean it has to be one specific person. This is just how I feel. But perhaps you're feeling that person's energy. You're feeling there is somebody out there for you, and you are out there for them. And like with this move heart here, it's like you're just trying to find that person and they're just trying to find you. And I feel like the truth is that you've already found them. They are in the mirror, they are in the ocean, they are in reflections, they are within yourself. You are always connected to them. If you've ever felt alone, with this Five of Pentacles energy, feeling out in the cold, like that person you wish was experiencing it with you, like not that you wish bad things on them, but that like they were like when you were alone, that someone was there with you, and perhaps you were there for them as well, because that's equal. You're not trying to just take and take. You want to take and give. Or like give and receive rather. And I'm hearing like that person and you have been separately in this together, and that's really beautiful. And I strongly resonate with that. Regarding my twin flame journey, I feel like me and this guy, he and I don't know about him, but my whole life I was really just looking for someone to, like, I was always, like, when I was crying or alone, or all of my siblings hated me, or like my mom, like, and whatever the issue was, or like I had no friends, whatever it was, or like I did kind of, but I saw people had best friends basically, and I was always like, I want a best friend, and I would like find someone and I'd feel so close to them, but realize that they didn't feel that same attachment to me. And it was an attachment, it was a attachment issue in the past, but of course I worked through that. But I met my twin flame and I realized perhaps that person I've been looking for my whole time was him. And I realized that, just how he wasn't there in my physical world, I wasn't there in his physical world either. We were both perhaps simply trying to find one another, whether we were aware of it or not. My whole life I was always looking for that. I was always looking for a person like that. I can just list names of past best friends that I really thought it was. Like, there's a huge list, so many people, and of course it turned out to be none of them, but like the connections I made with those people were of course very important, and I cherish those forever. But I realized that one specific connection I was always crying and wishing and looking for, and eventually thinking I could never find it. By like middle school, I started to really think it's impossible. By by high school, really, I started saying there's no one out there for me, this and that. Of course, I learned a lot and manifested my reality for myself. Yeah, creation. It's kind of like, with all this information, start realizing you're the creator of your own destiny. You said something in the comment. What was it? I hope you don't mind that I read part of it. I won't say your name or anything. It was, you were saying the cards were showing you your new destiny. It's more like you chose this destiny and you chose these cards. The cards aren't telling you what to do. They're not telling you where to go or like what destiny you should go to. Instead, they are actually just telling you what you have been choosing. Like, you are a creator of your own destiny. So you could read this message and disagree with it and completely change your destiny in an instant. I believe in free will. I believe you can change your reality. So perhaps love is coming your way and you could change that, or perhaps it's not and you could change that. I personally believe all love can be found within. Everything you look for can be found within. But of course, what you want is important too. Me, I want that connection in the physical world. I want to be with my twin flame. And if it's not him in the end, that's okay too. I can accept that and come to terms with it. But I've always been looking for that best friend. And if you know the song by Bruno Mars, Marry You, oh man, as a kid I really loved that song. The whole like, I think I want to marry you. It's like all things about marriage and love and commitment really got to me. And it's not because I am seeking specifically marriage, but rather just like that sort of commitment where they're like, yes, we will be best friends forever. Nothing can ever change that. Something about that makes me kind of break down a bit, even to this moment. Like, that just really got my heart, just saying that. Like, the idea of someone being there for me in that aspect. I have so many, like, people in my life at this moment that I'm so blessed and lucky about that make me feel, like, so amazing. But it's not that romantic person that I'm speaking of. It's not that ultimate best friend where we totally understand each other all the time, you know? It's that's always been really important to me. Sorry I went on that vibe, but yeah, I'm hearing this might just be about me, but nah. 2 of Cups, Princess of Cups, 6 of Swords reversed, 7 of Cups, Temperance, 6 of Cups. Since, well, I'm about to mix the reading up a bit. I'm about to, well, no, I'll keep it on task. Well, I'll read this message and I'll reshuffle and do another one, because I feel like this was a message for me. The way the cards came out different than all these other decks, but I feel like this will also be stuff you resonate with. 2 of Cups. This is a twin flame card. This is a strong connection, a romantic person, a partnership, like in love. Princess of Cups is like you pour your heart out to the universe because you've also poured your heart out to yourself. You love yourself so much that there's plenty to give because you are the universe. So by loving yourself, you are loving the universe. 6 of Swords, I'm getting there's something that maybe in this what I'm about to say, or maybe in the past, there's something you're struggling with moving on. But that can be anything. 7 of Cups, maybe what you're struggling for moving on is that 7 of Cups is a card of options of love. Perhaps you see so many love opportunities, and maybe what you need to move on from is looking for those opportunities and rather just letting the opportunities come to you and knowing that your heart will know what feels right. I feel like instead of looking for love, to continue to balance out yourself emotionally and to maybe look at this through a perspective of you've already found that love, you've already found that person, but if you are struggling with things or if you are looking for them, then the other person is looking for you. You both feel lost, so then those energies bounce and you can't find each other. But if you are saying, I've already found this person, we are connected spiritually, even if I die in this life and I never meet that person, I met them emotionally, I met them in my dreams. Feeling that you are not open for anyone, but maybe open for that connection that you're feeling, like that, and you'll just know when you feel it, or when you meet that person, you'll start to recognize that these emotions throughout maybe your whole life. Kind of what I was talking about, like how for me growing up, I was looking for that best friend. I was like, what is this person's energy that I'm feeling that feels like it's me, but maybe it's not me. Maybe it's like that person that I'm in love with that is also me, but not me. I hope that all made sense. You know, I was feeling basically my twin flame's energy my whole life. And sometimes I knew it, and other times I thought maybe I'm just lonely. And like, you know, growing up I was, but like, and a lot of things, you know, like, but it was like, maybe it's just my ego. Maybe it's just I need to get over myself and live alone forever and accept that. But no, it was rather I decided to understand that, oh, I've been feeling this connection my whole life, basically, and wow, you've never been alone. Even during Five of Pentacles, when you feel alone, that I feel like you're never alone. So instead of you said you did not meet your new husband or new lover. Perhaps you did, and not literally, but maybe just be like, you know what, I did. I met him in my dreams, or you know what, I met him in my heart. I am my new husband. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. So I'm hearing with Temperance about balance, and since it comes about emotional balance, this may bring that forward more. Let's hear about that. Nine of Cups, wishes fulfilled. That's where, the hope card over here. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. So, yeah, I feel like there's some sort of trick to all of this, basically, where realizing you create your own destiny, and I feel like that's the manifesting things for yourself. So what's going to make your wishes come true? And I believe that includes love from a romantic interest. You deserve absolutely everything you want in life, I truly feel that way. And so, I'm still trying to figure out law of attraction and everything like that too. So I believe in you. I hope these messages resonated. I am going to do one more where I just spell out Aries. A-R-I-E-S. Yeah, check that out. And justice came back. Justice will be served. So Chariot, I feel like after all this process, if you've made it up to this point, this is kind of not only stuff that's been going on and things you resonate, but perhaps a process, a procedure of steps. And maybe once you get through all this, these are the ultimate steps, which is keep controlling your destiny, charging forward with determination. As someone in a chariot, you're not making the world look a certain way, but rather you are moving to where you want to go. Again, with that move card with the heart. So it's you manifest reality by moving to where that reality is. Not always literally, but you can make it move to you. It's law of attraction, King of Pentacles, very stable energy in the physical world. The Emperor, very comfortable where you are, guard down, feeling at peace. Eight of Cups, moving on. I feel like moving on from the past ultimately and feeling really happy by yourself is a big key to this justice of reuniting with perhaps a twin flame, if you resonate with the twin flame meaning. So yeah, this is a general reading for Aries out there. No specific time. However this resonates, take the messages as they do. This could be past, present, future. This could be whatever it is for you. Sending love and light. I hope you watched this video, Hourglass, and I hope these messages resonated. Let me know if there's anything else I could possibly do. Yeah. Alright, peace out.